Look closely at your feed. Over the last couple of years, Hollywood has undergone a radical, quiet transformation. The dramatic curves that defined the 2010s have vanished. In their place, an intense shift toward ultra-lean, minimalist physical trends, a return to a controversial look we thought we left in the graveyard of the early aughts. We are witnessing the resurgence of a highly rigid beauty standard. But this isn't just about fashion trends changing. This is a calculated, systemic shift driven by pharmaceutical breakthroughs, economic anxiety, and a cultural backlash against body positivity. Today, we are diving deep into the history of this trend, the economic forces fueling its return, and how it ties into a broader, alarming push toward extreme societal regression. To understand how deep this goes, we have to look at the people who set the visual blueprint for current society. Ariana Grande. For years, Grande maintained a petite but athletic dancer's appearance. Recently, her red carpet appearances for Wicked sparked intense global discourse. Her dramatically altered look, highly delicate appearance, and changed aesthetic mark a stark departure from her sweetener era, serving as a primary visual anchor for this new cultural wave. Kim and Khloe Kardashian, the ultimate architects of the hourglass trend. In a sudden pivot, both sisters completely reversed their look. They noticeably scaled back their famous cosmetic adjustments, debuting radically streamlined frames at the Met Gala, effectively signaling to millions that the previous decade's trend was officially over. Post Malone, it's not just women. The singer shocked fans by showcasing a massive transformation journey. While he attributes it to cutting out soda and performing, his rapid physical shift mirrors the broader Hollywood trend toward an ultra-lean, minimalist aesthetic. Lizzo and Meghan Trainor. As the literal poster children for the 2010 inclusivity movement, their recent, highly publicized transformation journeys symbolize a massive cultural shift. When even the champions of diverse representation begin to change their appearance, it signals that the industry's tolerance for varied profiles is rapidly expiring. Oprah Winfrey, a household name who spent decades publicly battling media scrutiny over her image, her recent dramatic physical evolution, and her subsequent public admission and documentary regarding the use of modern prescription lifestyle tools shattered the illusion that Hollywood's new look was just the result of clean eating and Pilates. To understand why this is happening now, we have to look backward. In the 1990s, fashion birthed a highly controversial, minimalist runway aesthetic characterized by a pale, stark appearance, popularized by supermodels like Kate Moss. By the early 2000s, this trickled down to mainstream pop culture. This was the era of low-rise jeans and an unforgiving tabloid culture. Media outlets ruthlessly scrutinized young stars like Britney Spears, Lindsay Lohan, and Nicole Richie. The psychological toll on society was catastrophic. An entire generation grew up with deeply skewed perceptions of self-image because the baseline standard of beauty required a genetic anomaly or extreme lifestyle measures. But human culture functions like a pendulum. By the 2010s, audiences grew exhausted by this unattainable standard. The rise of social media gave birth to the body-positive movement. Concurrently, the ideal shifted to a hypercurvaceous silhouette. Suddenly, fullness was in, but it was a trap. This aesthetic demanded an impossibly tiny waist paired with dramatic curves. It was equally unnatural, requiring complex cosmetic procedures and genetic luck. Millions spent the decade chasing a silhouette that was manufactured in an operating room. So, how did we get back to the minimalist look? The answer isn't a change in taste. It's a change in technology, politics, and economics. The primary catalyst for this new wave is the rise of modern metabolic medications, famously known by various pharmaceutical brand names. Originally created for specific health conditions, the elite quickly utilize these treatments for rapid lifestyle modifications. The wealthy constantly find ways to establish social distinction. Once the highly curvaceous aesthetic became easily accessible to the general public through affordable procedures, the cultural architects needed to find a way to differentiate themselves. Switching back to an ultra-lean look was their way of setting a new barrier to entry. It reminds the general public of the wealth gap, because the elite can easily pay to pivot their entire aesthetic in an instant, while everyday people spent their hard-earned money and stretched tight budgets just to catch up to the last trend. Many are left with permanent reminders of a past era, highlighting the rapid expiration date of cosmetic trends. With the streamlined look officially dominating mainstream media, visible remnants of past body trends serve as a direct visual reminder of existing class and wealth gaps. There is a deeper economic undercurrent at play here. We are currently living through a period of severe economic inflation, societal instability, and intense hustle culture. Historically, during times of financial hardship and chaos, an ultra-lean appearance becomes the ultimate status symbol. Why? Because maintaining a minimalist aesthetic in a stressful world is framed as requiring immense resources. It projects an image that you can afford modern prescription lifestyle tools, boutique wellness consultations, and premium organic lifestyle choices. At least, this is the narrative we are sold. In reality, it reflects a society making extreme lifestyle changes to keep up with shifting standards. This creates a paradox. One might expect that in a period of economic decline, prosperity would be symbolized by abundance and vitality. Strangely, this physical shift perfectly aligns with a cultural trend happening across social media, the rise of the traditional domestic lifestyle movement. On the surface, these creators promote a wholesome routine of homesteading, baking bread, and embracing historic domestic roles. But look beneath the aesthetic. The imagery relies heavily on a highly delicate, traditional presentation. The connection is undeniable. As social dynamics shift, the dominant beauty standard simultaneously demands a more delicate, traditional appearance. The return of this minimalist look complements a broader cultural push that idealizes classic domesticity and compliance. It acts as a visual manifestation of stepping backward in time. Society rarely seems to reach an equilibrium. Trends always move from one extreme to another. The constant, rapid swinging of the beauty pendulum is not accidental. It is a multi-billion-dollar industry cycle designed to keep consumers insecure. When the standard favors dramatic curves, industries sell specialized procedures, garments, and fitness supplements. When the standard flips to a lean look, those same industries sell lifestyle suppressants, specialized memberships, and modern pharmaceutical tools. If consumers were ever allowed to be content with their natural selves, entire industries would collapse overnight. Chasing these constant extremes creates a severe toll on self-esteem and deep-seated identity struggles. It reduces the human form to a seasonal fashion trend. Your body is a vessel keeping you alive, not a piece of fast fashion to be tailored, discarded, and replaced every decade. The next time the media tries to convince you to alter your appearance to fit in, remember, the game is rigged. The only way to win is to stop playing. What do you think about the return of this aesthetic? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. See you next time.